Emily Agard, and currently I'm the director of SciXchange at Ryerson University in Toronto, Canada. We are the Faculty of Sciences Center for Science Communication and Public Engagement and Outreach. We have a team that works pretty much to make science accessible and engaging to the general public, to people of all ages. We're very passionate about making it accessible, helping the general public have a place to go to if they have questions about science. I also teach immunology, so I have a PhD in immunology, so I'm always happy to be teaching students as well. So that feeling when you discover something new is what really got me interested in science. I actually, believe it or not, planned to be a lawyer when I grew up. My father was a lawyer, my mother was a teacher. But when I took science, I was taking it for fun, which probably should have been a clue. I took immunology, and there were so many questions. At the end of the first course, I just knew I had to have more. At the end of the second course, I had to have more, because every little where we turn, it said the mechanism is still not determined, the mechanism is still not determined. So I went into graduate school, and that's when I really dove into science, and it was way better than even learning things in undergrad, and just experimenting and trying different things and going to conferences and talking to different people about science and what they were working on and getting feedback on mine. That was really what made science exciting. So even now as I teach, I try to make sure that my students aren't just trying to memorize facts. Science is really exciting when you are asking questions. I think sometimes asking questions and discovering things and maybe finding something different than you were expecting, all of that is what really makes science exciting. Oh, for various reasons. So, first of all, I've been working at a public institution for a while, a publicly funded institution for a while, so I almost feel like there's a moral obligation to give back and explain what we're doing, because, taxpayers are helping to support us, so we should be giving back. And another thing is that there's so much misinformation and disinformation about science, so much mistrust in science, and so I'm not talking about people who don't want to believe in science. I'm talking about people who have questions and are frustrated that they don't understand things or don't trust science. And I think part of the problem is that there isn't a lot of science communication. I think we can't just blame the general public for not knowing science if no one's explaining it to them. And that's why we're passionate about science communication at SciXchange. So we're about making science not so scary, because often people are just afraid of science. So if you look at little kids, they're all excited because we're born scientists. We're born curious. We want to engage. But then at a certain time, science starts becoming threatening and scary, or not the cool thing to do. So we try to make sure that we break down barriers to accessibility, and communicating science is what will help people understand science and help people trust science better. Oh, it means so much. I'm so honored. What makes it most exciting is that it's a reflection of how great my team is. I don't think you probably would have even known about me if SciXchange weren't doing great things. So it's an honor because la Fête de la Science just is in line with so much of what we do, making science engaging and accessible. And just the reflection that my team is doing great things and it has an impact. So very honored, and I'm excited to see all the different things that are going on in different cities in Canada. We have activities here in Toronto, we have Sudbury, we have in Winnipeg, Ottawa. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This goes back to the idea of trust. Now, in the middle of the pandemic, I think more than ever, it's evident how important science communication is, because there hasn't been a lot of clarity and directives. So a lot of the general public, and we're talking, intelligent people, are just confused as to what's going on, what's the coronavirus, what's the vaccine, how is it developed. So we shouldn't be just telling people to trust science blindly. People should be able to ask questions and get answers, and have science communicated to them properly. So. And the science communication actually has been successful so far. One of the surveys that I tune into often is the 3M State of Science Index, where globally they go around and ask people their, opinions and about science, how much they trust science and what they think of science. And for the first time in 4 years, the trust in science has gone up. So people are finding that now they look to science with hope for the future. And then we also get a sense of what issues people are interested around the world. So climate change is a big thing, diversity in science, equity in science. I think this now with the pandemic, it has shown how very important it is to really be out there and communicating science. You know, we need to really be explaining to people. I could keep it simple. I have all sorts of things I want to say, but I'm just shy. Merci pour cette merveilleuse opportunité. I'm very excited to be the ambassador.